Did it work? How you guys doing this week? How's everybody doing? Let me jump back here to the beginning and say hi to everybody that has entered the room. I was chatting a little bit beforehand, and Brother Will just left. He just came on over to stop by and see if the part that I got from him today actually worked. But Fat Man, awesome to have you here. My friend Scotty's Backyard Barbecue, awesome to have you here as well. Scotty, as you know, all my moderators, if you guys see some channels in here that you want to shout out, by all means, share their link during the live. Greatly appreciated. I like to think I have some really awesome moderators in here. And those are the people over there, over there that are in blue on the chat. And basically, they kind of keep the flow going and keep everybody moving right ahead in the right direction and keep the riffraff out, even though some of my moderators, like Scotty, is riffraff. Scotty's got a great channel. Destiny, welcome. Glad you could be here. Very awesome. Whipple1. Kids, pull your sweats over your eyes. There's a man in the dress on the computer. Actually, I'm wearing shorts right now. I was wearing the dress earlier today. And it's only a dress if you wear something underneath it. You know that. JD from SC, my friend, good to see you. Awesome to have you here as always. Urban Homesteading Channel, thank you for joining. Awesome. Balmy 23 degrees in Western Pennsylvania, United States. Very cool. Yeah, let me know where you guys are from. If you have not done so, or if I don't know already, but let the other folks in the chat know too. Let us know where you're from and what's going on with the temperature and the weather in your area, because it's 36 degrees Fahrenheit here right now. It's beautifully warm. Got the window open and it's just gorgeous out. Built on the Rock Homestead, awesome. Glad you could make it. Bill Wilson, awesome and glad to have you here, but I'm pretty sure you changed yourself over to your other channel, The Lone Moose. Bill, 70 degrees in South Texas. Awesome to have you there. Charles and Annalyn, awesome to have you guys in from the Philippines. Very cool. Carol L., thank you for making it tonight. Awesome to have you here. Scrolling through, Christy Betts, thank you for showing up. Much appreciated. Wendy Benjamin, good to see you as well. Thanks for joining us today. Sunshine from Kenai, Alaska. Great weather this week, huh? Well, great weather yesterday and great weather today. It was snowing a little bit earlier, and I think as I look outside, I can see some blue skies. But we're due for some more snow next week, and we've got 3 days that are probably going to give us some pretty decent snow. Bad Blood Reptiles from Anchorage, Alaska. Thank you for jumping in, my friend. Awesome to have you here. Jim at Woolly Rhino Adventures. Glad you could make it. Good afternoon and evening to you. Kathy from North Star Prepstetter. Awesome. Glad you could make it. Arthur Fiala. Thank you for joining me, my friend, from deep South Alabama. Really enjoyed the video this morning. The snow and the trees, so beautiful. Hope all is well with you. It is awesome. Thank you very much for that too, Arthur. I'm having an issue. I use the YouTube app to look at, obviously stuff like how many views and comments that I'm getting on a video. And normally when I answer a comment, it'll give me a little number in the top corner of the screen. And when I answer a comment, that number will drop by one or go away completely. But for some reason, that number won't change. So I have to keep scrolling through. If I've missed your comment on today's video, mention it again. Leave another comment in there for me, and I'll try and see if I can't find it. But it's driving me nuts. I've had some app issues on my phone this week. But yeah, beautiful, awesome day today. Beautiful weather. Scrolling on through. Brother Sean in Canada, North Shore Preparedness. Awesome to have you here, my friend. Glad to see things are going better for you. I'm looking forward to the day when you start going live again, because I miss those. I miss the fellowship on your lives. Your lives are some of the most fun lives I've ever gone to. And if you guys are not subscribed to Sean at North Shore Preparedness, you need to be, because not only does he have great videos, but when he starts his regular routine, hopefully of going live again, it is just awesome. It's like a bunch of friends sitting around chatting, which is kind of what I hope this is as well. Liz Weekly. Liz, I haven't had a chance to head over to check out your, was it you that said you had your first video? I think it was you that sent me a message and said you had your first video. If it was, I haven't checked it out yet, but I will be doing so after today's lives. Birdwatcher Gene, thank you for joining. Thank you for making it as well. I'm Riff Who's Raff. Here's the Riff Raff. 81 in Phoenix, Arizona. Wow. Ouch. I'd be melting. I can't do the over 80 temperatures anymore. I just can't. I just think anything over 80 is wasted temperatures. If it could be like 75 to 80 all the time, I'm okay with that. But anything over 80 is just a waste. Carol from Virginia, awesome to have you here. Whiskey Harbor, glad you could make it. Good day from Ontario, Canada. My neighbor to the east. It's kind of cool living in Alaska, because nobody's really north of me anymore, except maybe some people in the Yukon Territory. Everybody else is just east of me. Jake, glad you could make it. Awesome to have you here. Partly sunny, cooling down some here in Oregon. It has been very nice. Very nice. Gil from Camp Hatton Family Compound. Awesome to have you here. Gil, thanks for joining. In the Philippines, raining, highs in the 70s. And if you guys have a comment that you really want me to answer and jump out, because this is kind of like free flow and I like to read everything pretty much from the top to the bottom, do me a favor, put it in all caps so it jumps out at me. And if I miss it, don't hesitate to put it in again. If you see that I'm answering comments below yours and I didn't catch yours, then by all means ask the question again. If I've already read it and I see it a second time, I won't answer it again. But I just want to make sure that I answer any comments or questions you have. Terry Burns from Kentucky. We're having a cold snap right now. It's 32 degrees. Terry, right now, as I get over here and I look, it is 36 degrees Fahrenheit outside. That's chicken coop weather, chicken coop temperature, 36 degrees Fahrenheit. I woke up this morning, it was 28, just beautiful. I have some bad reverb. Anybody else thinking that the audio's got an issue, let me know. I'm going to scroll to the bottom real quick and look, but let me know if my audio's an issue right now. Hopefully it's not bad audio. Hopefully it's on Bill's end. Well, it looks like I'm connected. It looks like everything's still going. Not seeing any comments. Okay, sounds good, Christy. Awesome. There we go. No issue with the audio. So, Bill, it might be on your end. It might just be a connection issue. By all means, guys, if you see something like that, let me know, and I'll scroll to the bottom real quick and see if I can't get an answer for it. North Star Prep Stutter Kathy, also awesome. I moderate for her on Mondays. I think it's 3 p.m. Well, it's 3 p.m. I think Alaska time that Kathy goes live. But she's been gracious enough to moderate for me as well, and just an awesome person with a great channel. Christy Betts, I said hi to you, I think, already. Scrolling on down here. Marcus, good to see you, my friend. Glad you could make it. Awesome to have you here. Doug at His Way Homestead. Commander Bacon, awesome to have you here as well. And I would put the hat on right now, but it's in the truck because it pretty much lives in the truck with me. That way when I go somewhere, I can put it on and then everybody looks at the Bacon hat. His Way Homestead also does great lives, real positive. I like to think that most of the channels that pretty much every channel I follow on YouTube is super positive people that when you're done watching their video or you're done watching a live that they do, you walk away just feeling better about everything. Life is good. I kind of like that. Oh, Kathy, Shannon, Alaska. I wish I could say the same weather here. Minus 35 wind chill. We're sending all of our cold weather to the United States, the lower 48 this year, so that you guys can actually see what it looks like to live in Alaska. I'm just scrolling through right now. Sherry rather, McKinstry, Garden Gal, awesome to have you here. Very awesome that you can join me. Jay and Jen, woot woot, good to see you guys. Very cool. Another great channel right there. Those two are, besides the fact that they're a ton of fun, they do some really neat stuff. Their cabin is beautiful. Yeah, I think I said it last week. The kitchen counter that you put in there, and Jay corrected me. He didn't actually mill that piece. He bought that slab, but it's just gorgeous. I love good woodworking. Woodworking is just something I'm into. Well, I plan on doing as much as possible in the cabin next winter. So the main focus is get the cabin done and get moved in by winter, by fall, and then most of the winter will be spent doing the inside work. So while I'm living in there. Scrolling through. Monarchians, shalom to you as well. Glad you could make it. No issue with the audio. Okay, we're back. We're down to here now. I think I'm catching up slowly but surely. Richard Capel Sr., welcome. From Hayward, Wisconsin, Muskie capital of the world. Very cool. Awesome. I tell you what, doing the lives has been so fun for me just to see where everybody's from and to get kind of a personal right away back and forth with somebody. And that's what I've enjoyed the most about them. It's been very fun. Okay, Bill said it turned off. I turned it off and back on again. It's okay, good, good. I don't know if I have no idea. When it comes to some of this techie stuff on here, I just go with it. I'm just happy to be able to have enough signal to actually do this. You can hear clearly. Good. Foggy Mountain Man, welcome. Glad you can make it. 5x5. Good evening to you as well. Sean says 5x5 as well. Always, always, Gabby. I don't shout people out that I don't really watch and that I don't really enjoy. So if you hear me shout somebody out like you, like Jay and Jen, like Sean, um, you know, when I shout people out on here, Doug, it's because I actually enjoy their fellowship when I'm watching their videos or when I'm joining their lives. To me, it's just a ton of fun. Firefly Farm, awesome, awesome that you can make it tonight. Little rented lips right there. Grace, all the way from Scotland. Glad you can make it, Grace. Awesome to have you here. Today I'm sipping hot spice cider. I didn't want to brew another pot of coffee, mainly because I'd have to clean out the French press, and I'm going to do that later on this evening anyway. But I'm going to do some spice cider because I was out using the snowblower in the driveway. More about that in next week's video, why I had to do it just before the live instead of yesterday when I planned on doing it. It got down to 25 last night. You turned the electric heaters on the wall pump. Oh, man. Here's another one. Keep the cold. I want to plant my garden. Not helping. I just put naughty ducks in there yesterday. Big Bear Prepper. Glad you can make it. Awesome to have you here. Charles is asking, what does my tool list look like for my cabin build? So I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible for a couple of reasons. One, I don't want to invest a bunch of money in tools that I am generally probably going to use once or twice. So there won't be a whole lot of specialty stuff in there. I did get if you saw the video, not this week, but last week, Grits and Beer, which was kind of a rushed video because there was just so much going on. But there were some pretty views of driving up to Anchorage that I thought were really worth putting in there. If you saw that video, in the bottom right-hand corner, when I backed the truck up and I had to go get a tarp and get it all wrapped up, was a gift that I got from a viewer that is just phenomenal beyond belief for me. It was a beautiful cobalt chop saw. So basically, you're looking at tape measures, squares, saws, skill saw. I have a skill saw, chop saw now. I have a chop saw now. Thank you very much. That was just incredible. I can't say enough about what feeling that gives me when somebody does that. It's just phenomenal. Hammer, screw gun, screwdrivers. I'm going to throw the entire first wall up for sure by hand. So every nail on that first wall is going to be pounded by hand. Every cut's going to be made with a handsaw. And I just want to do that because for me, that will just be a pretty huge event in my life. Other than that, I have friends who have nail guns that have already said, hey, if you want to borrow the nail guns, by all means, let me know. So I have friends that have offered to loan me framing nail guns, finishing nail guns, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, basically, I don't really see where it's going to be that big of an issue. When it comes to pouring the concrete, my buddy Ward, who jumps in here on the lives, was here last week, has got a cement mixer. I'm basically going to get a couple of 55-gallon drums and a small pump, and because I don't have water here, and I'm going to drive down to the river, and all the concrete's going to be mixed with Kenai River water, which to me will be another awesome local point for it. But I don't see a whole lot of specialized tools needed in that build. Hopefully. We'll see. I don't know. I've never built a house before. This is going to be interesting. And Fisa from Far North Home, awesome to have you here. Another great channel, another Alaskan living in a trailer on their property. A little bit further north, though, so she's getting a little colder weather than I get. Did I get all the chores done today? Yeah. So today's chores, obviously I go do my laundry every Sunday. And I'll let you know what happened with the snowblower. So I borrow the snowblower all the time from my buddy Jack in town. And it works out pretty well because usually I work days or that swing shift, 4 a.m. to noon, and Jack works nights. So when he gets off of work, he goes home and clears out his driveway. When I get off of work at noon, I swing by to pick up the snowblower from him. So I get the snowblower. And if you saw it in this week's video, rather than parking it in the road now, the truck, I'm just pulling it up where I turn around the truck and then pull the snowblower off there and clean it everything. I got 2 passes done with the snowblower, and the snow was, oh, I don't know, maybe 9 inches deep, because we got a pretty good snow the other night. And all of a sudden, it just quits throwing snow. Now, I've never owned a snowblower. I don't know. I could call Jack. He won't know, but all we know is you start it and it works. So I looked at it and I thought, well, there's only, it's got an auger that basically the auger spins and throws the snow up, and the blades in the front chop it and push it back to the auger. Well, the blades in the front quit working and the auger quit working, so it wasn't throwing anything. So there was one section just back from the connector that looked like it would get me to what I needed to see what was broken in there. When I pulled it off, there was a belt that was broken. So today, when I went into town, I took a picture of the belt that I needed. I went online and found it, and took a picture of the belt and sent it to brother Will, and he works at one of the local car parts shops here, and he found the belt for me. And then while I was doing my laundry in town, I watched a YouTube video. I love YouTube because I can learn everything off of it on how to change the belt. When I got home, I changed the belt and ended up getting the whole driveway blown. Got the chickens all taken care of. Update on the chickens, pretty much every day this week I've gotten 3 eggs. Except for yesterday, I got 4 eggs, and today I got 5 eggs. So the laying has commenced in earnest again. They're going crazy. And I got the snowblower done, got it fired up, got the whole yard all cleared out. Started chipping away further and further in the area where the cabin build is, because I'd like to get a lot of that knocked down if I could, so that it melts faster when the breakup officially hits and spring actually happens here, and I can get the building quicker. And then, what else? Cleaned up in the house a bit, did dishes, got myself some, here, I'll show you what dinner is tonight. Whoops, that's going to be dinner tonight. Nice big old ribeye steak on the Weber charcoal grill outside. So yeah, that was it. I got all my chores done though, I think, JD. I think I've done well. Sherry's asking, am I using wood hand tools to build a log cabin here? Can't wait to... Oh, you want to build a log cabin there? So no, I'm not doing a log cabin myself. I had originally wanted to do one, but my trees are way too small here. That doesn't mean I won't do one down the road. That doesn't mean that I might find another piece of property with bigger trees and build another cabin there. But we'll worry about that later. But I'm using all hand tools pretty much for the initial part of this build, as much as I can. I mean, I'm not a kid, so I'm going to have to work smarter than harder, if you know what I mean. But yeah, eventually I'd like to do a log cabin. What we got going on here? Scrolling through. And Fat Man asking, Sean, Alaska, how much longer do you have until I start building? You're getting antsy waiting. You're getting antsy. How do you think I feel? It's middle of February now. The earliest possible time I can think of that we'll have breakup, meaning that we'll start to see the ground again, would probably be middle of March to late March. That generally seems to be when it happens, but then I have to wait for the under layer of the soil to thaw. And the way that I know that happens is because one day you'll have a huge lake. I'll have a huge lake in the turnaround area, and then the next day I'll come back and there'll be no water there at all. And when that happens, that means that the substrate has finally broken up and thawed out, at which point I can start drilling holes. So beginning of April, knock on wood, hopefully. Been snowing all day up there for you. We had snow on and off down here, and actually a little bit of rain, which was nice because the roads aren't that bad. Just hopefully it doesn't freeze up. But yeah, I love it. Jay and Jen, don't forget my clear tube filled with water for a level. Yep, exactly, right? Where did I learn that at? Oh, wait, that was when you built your cabin. I do have the tubing already set up and ready to go. I've got levels and everything else, but I want to do some of that stuff just because it'll be fun to do. 37 degrees today in Missouri, but keeps going up to the 50s. I'd love that. That would be 50s. I'd be happy. I'm pretty sure that Anfisa here would be extremely happy too if it went up to the 50s. At a garden, awesome. You can make it. Glad to have you here. Kathy, so do I store my eggs near the space heater or those empty cartons? Those right there are the freshest of the eggs. And there's really no heat coming off the side of that heater. So I store my eggs at room temperature. I don't put them in the refrigerator. And The bottom one's full. The second one is almost full, and I've got people lined up now that want to get some eggs. So hopefully I'll be able to turn those eggs around as quick as possible. 73 degrees yesterday, 39 today in the North Carolina mountains. It's pretty country though, huh? I mean, I would like to see the East Coast. There is some beautiful, beautiful country in the East Coast. I went to Georgia years ago, and it was beautiful. Outside of, where was I? Outside of Warner Robins. It was just beautiful country. The man on the street. I have dug out. Awesome. Glad you could make it, my friend. Awesome to have you here again. Charles and Lynn started our build here on Wednesday. Awesome. Semi-pix, yeah. Semi-pix. You've got my email address. And for those that don't, the About section on my YouTube page has a link to my email address. I think it's seanowensinalaska@gmail.com, but it's on, the link is on there. But if you've got pictures you want to share, by all means, send it to me. I would love to see it. Right, yeah. I love working with wood. I love working with logs. Logs are, it's just a beautiful structure when you build logs. Awesome. What Jay and Jen said. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, because when you hit the thumbs up, it suggests the channel, and it suggests this video to other people that they think might be interested in watching it. It does help. Oh, there we go. Kathy posted it. I was right. seanowensinalaska@gmail.com. I'm all caught up. That almost never happens this quick. That's very cool. Thank you guys for joining me today, too. I know that there's some kind of a sporting event, I think, going on today, but I'm not really into it at all this year. I have been following rugby a bit. The Guinness Six Nations Championship over in the UK and Europe, but I can't see the games live. I have to figure out how to do that. I'm usually pretty good at figuring out how to see them, but I can't see them without paying for them. And I can't justify a subscription to Peacock where I could watch the games when I'm only going to watch like 6 weeks of rugby. So I can't justify paying for that. But yeah, Super Bowl today. Scotty mentioned it when he jumped in here. He's probably in and out if he's even still here right now, because I know Scotty's a big football fan. So I appreciate you guys jumping in here and spending a little bit of the afternoon with me. Mike, glad you can make it, my friend. I'm doing great, doing fantastic. Hope you are as well. Oh, we got an update. 13-3, Rams of the Bengals. Out of garden. I quit watching football. I'm going to go back to the score here, because I want to tell you guys. So I live off grid. I have no cable. I have internet via my phone, but I don't have satellite or anything set up. So I don't really have television to watch. So a lot of times I'm a member of Amazon Prime, because anything I order off of Amazon to be shipped up here, I save a ton of money just by being a Prime member, because they will ship it. I do get the Prime deals for shipping up here. But I kept seeing previews to a movie called American Underdog. And it's the story of, I've drawn a complete blank on his name, Kurt Warner, and how he went from basically being a stock clerk in a grocery store to arena football to the quarterback for the Rams. It was one of the greatest movies for sports I think I've ever seen in my life. And I love a good sports movie. And I never remember the actor's name, but I'll probably remember it before we leave today. The guy who played Chuck in the greatest television show I've ever seen played Kurt Warner and did an incredible job. And Kurt Warner's wife was played by Anna Paquin, which was Sookie from the vampire show years ago. But just a great movie. I mean, there were parts of that movie when I had just severe allergic reactions. There were other parts when I was jumping up and down. And having grown up during that time and remembering the impact that he had on that football team was just amazing for me. It was if you get a chance and you want to watch a good, family-friendly, fun movie, that's the movie, American Underdog. Enjoyed the heck out of it. Where was I? Oh, here. I had to scroll back up here. Lindsay, glad you can make it. Awesome to have you here. How's it going? Good. Very, very good, man. It's going fantastic. I hope things are going well for you, too. And Karen, how are you this evening, Karen? Nice to see you. I'm going to try and swing by and get some eagle pictures for you this week. I meant to do that a couple of weeks ago, but I have a better spot with, I think, maybe a couple of more eagles. So we're going to go see if I can't check that out later on this week and get some shots for you. And I'll post them on the community tab. I do like to share pictures on the community tab. So if you follow the channel, if you're subscribed to the channel, the community tab should pop up. Leave a comment and let me know if you like what you're seeing or if you want to see some different stuff. But if I get wildlife pictures, a lot of times I like to share them on the tab. Arthur signed a contract on 2 acres in Sterling. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, great movie. Great movie. Very enjoyable. You haven't watched sports in some 20 years? I don't watch baseball at all because to me the most boring thing in the world is to sit there and watch a baseball game. But if I have it on the radio, the most awesome thing in the world for me is to sit around the campfire outside here with a ball game on, and with good announcers, I can smell the grass on that ball field. But I've always enjoyed, baseball on the radio. Basketball, I watched college basketball, but to give you an idea how old I am, the kids that were playing in college at the time was some guy named Larry Bird and some guy named Johnson. So I haven't watched a lot of college sports in a long time. I don't really watch football anymore because generally I'm too busy to sit down and watch sports. But yeah, some people don't watch them for some reasons. Some people don't watch them for other reasons. And I just, more than anything now, it's, if there's a game on and I'm not doing anything, I'll stop and I'll watch it. I'll enjoy it, but I don't go out of my way to watch it. But rugby, on the other hand, Six Nation rugby. So the Six Nations rugby, just so you know, rugby is first of all a crazy sport. It's like football without pads. And the teams that play in Six Nations are Ireland, Scotland, Wales, England, Italy, and France. So it's just those Six Nations competing against each other for kudos and have bragging rights until the next year. And obviously, I'm Irish, so I'm an Ireland fan. And we did fantastic the first week and beat Wales, who Wales has always got an awesome team. But then this week we played France, who I figured was, yeah, we're going to smoke them, and France won. So, oh well, what can I say? But it's fun to watch. It's just a ton of fun. We keep an eye on lumber prices. I know, right? So that's part of the reason also for clearing the extra room out where the cabin's going to be is I'm going to try and jump ahead here in the next month and purchase enough lumber to basically get the floor in and get the walls framed and have all that on site because the prices are starting to track up a little bit, and I want to jump the gun on that. I want to make sure that I've got it covered before I get to there. Doesn't matter. I'm building no matter what this year. If I have to take out a loan, I'm actually going to do it and build this year because I got to get out of this trailer. I don't want to do another winter in here. Oh, Lord, no, I don't. Stephanie, awesome to have you here. Cold in Colorado today. Wind's crazy. I can imagine. I can imagine it. Love your Toronto Blue Jays, huh? I'm a Giants guy. When it comes to baseball, my San Francisco Giants all the way. All the way. Lindsay, get some great scenery down on the Kenai for sure. Think you might have to try to hike Denali up this summer. I probably live in one of the prettiest places of Alaska, on the Kenai Peninsula, because generally speaking, we get much better weather here than a lot of other parts of the state without having. So we don't get as hot as the interior gets in the summer because Fairbanks can get pretty darn miserably warm, and we don't get as cold as the interior Fairbanks gets in the winter. So it's pretty awesome. It's kind of the best of both worlds. We still get night for about 2 or 3 hours during the summer, and we still get light for about 4 or 5 hours during the winter. I can't complain. It's pretty mild, and it's the best fishing in the state of Alaska as far as I'm concerned. It's just phenomenal down here. There'll be a lot of that this year too. I'm going to do a lot of fishing. Look at that bragging Foggy Mountain man. Cabbage, broccoli, and Irish potatoes this weekend. I don't even know where my dirt's at right now. It's under about 4 feet of snow. Oh, this is awesome. 5-month-old granddaughter Ezzy is watching me with crazy old grandpa. Nice. Hi, Ezzy. And yeah, that's all I had to do was say sports, and Doug's going to say roll tide. Rugby is hardcore, right? And it's so it was funny because the first rugby match I ever saw was during Six Nations, and Ireland was actually playing France. And my brother and I were in a pub in Dublin, Ireland. My youngest brother Jody and and we'd never really watched it. It was obvious for just two Americans in a pub full of, because it was March, so there's not a lot of tourists there. So two Americans in a pub full of all these Irish people watching rugby, and they started explaining it to me. And you know what? About 15 or 20 minutes into the game, I got it, and I was like, my brother and I. My brother is a merchant seaman now, so he's usually on merchant ships going up and down. I think he just got done with a tour through Brazil and South America, and he's back in the United States now. But he'll send me a message from any country. Are you ready, bro? Are you ready? It's pretty hardcore, and it's a ton of fun. Roger Baker, Roger Down Under. Awesome to have you here, my friend. I hope everything's well in Australia. It does, right? Right? It does. Liz, thank you for stopping by. Awesome to have you here. Have a great week. Have a fantastic week as well. It's a prenuptial agreement I had to make with your father-in-law. You had to become a Bama fan. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the heat. When I moved here, when I left California, because I'm a California boy, I left California and came to Alaska. Uh, when I left my part of California, which was Sonora, just north of Yosemite, kind of in the middle between Yosemite National Park and Lake Tahoe, it was 100. It was over 100 degrees when I left there, and when I got to Washington, it was over 100 degrees. And when I got to Alaska, it was like 85, and I was in paradise. And Brother Will was dying. It's 85 degrees. You couldn't buy a fan anywhere in the state. Awesome. Another great channel. Awesome, awesome people, John and Sherry. Good to see you, man. Off grid living with Living Simple Homestead. Great to have you guys here. Doing well, man. I hope you guys are as well. You know, Doug, I have not ever made snow cream. So now that you got me on that, I need to go back and watch your video on it again and make some snow cream because I got plenty of snow out there. And that would be fun to include in a video. That would be awesome. I'd have to wear my Commander Bacon hat when I made it just to give you kudos. Pepperoni cheese, tomato, green pepper, mushrooms. Oh, yum. Oh, yum. Right? There's no such thing as bad pizza. Unless you put chicken on it. Don't ever put chicken on my pizza. If I want chicken, I'm eating chicken. If I want pizza, I'm eating pizza. That's those two food groups for me may never cross. Awesome, good. Kathy shared your channel, bro. They're fun people. They're awesome, awesome people. Nice. So we don't really have a topic or anything for any of these that we're doing, but what have you guys liked to see in the videos so far, and what are you looking forward to seeing in the videos so far? What would you like me to maybe focus on a little bit more than I do, and what would you like me to back off of some that I'm doing now that I'm doing too much? Ward, awesome to have you, brother. I was talking about you just a couple minutes ago. More kilt. So I belong to a Facebook group called Real Men Wear Kilts, and I've belonged to them for a long time because it's all about kilts and kilt culture. But I'm a utility kilt wearer, and the brand of my kilt is a Utila kilt, but it's a utility kilt. It's not traditional in any way, shape, or form. And yesterday, I posted a bunch of pictures from. I just shared them. Basically, some of the pictures from the video that you guys all saw this morning of me wearing that kilt in the snow. And I shared it on that page, and the comments I got were just off the hook. People were going crazy, going crazy. But then somebody on that page has a kilt magazine, and she commented to me today that several of the pictures that I've previously posted with me in a kilt in the snow in Alaska are going to end up in some magazine. So hopefully she'll send it to me, and I'll get a link to you guys where you can go check it out. But yeah, I love wearing that thing. I absolutely love wearing that thing. John, just put some damn pants on before you freeze to death. That's probably the number one question I get asked the most about wearing a kilt in the snow in winter in Alaska. How do you not freeze? Well, I don't get cold from my ankles to my waist, ever, ever. I have never gotten. Now my feet will get brutally cold, so I have to make sure that I take care of the proper footwear. My hands, as I get older, get worse and worse with the cold temperature. But from the waist to the ankles, almost never gets cold. Saying that, yesterday I was flying the drone and Sean went left with his finger instead of right with his finger, like he should have, and I crashed it. It's the first actual crash I've ever had with the drone, and it's fine. It's sitting right over here. But I was wearing the kilt, and I had to walk through the garden area, and I'll have you know that there's almost 4 feet of snow on top of that ground back there. And there was a couple of times where it was cold and Sean was singing soprano. I was, woo! But yeah, that gets cold. That gets cold. Stephanie, that is awesome. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. That is cool. That is very cool. He's awesome. You could be here from St. Colomban, Quebec. I hope I said that right. Oh, every year I shave my beard. When do I plan to do it this year? Spring. Yeah. So as soon as the temperatures get warm enough and it starts to get uncomfortable around the neck is when the beard usually goes away. But I always keep the mustache. I don't remember the last time I shaved everything off. So I've actually thought of the longest I had it grow, I think, was last year, and it was probably down to about here, but I'd started growing it much earlier. And it's just such a hassle to take care of that I get to a certain point where I go, it's got to go. But during the winter, it keeps the face warm. I mean, holy smokes. Um, there is Narrative Telephone, and I'll mention that because I know the video is getting ready to come out. And that was me, Jess from Rain Dance Bushcraft, Russell from Raspberry Rock Off Grid, City Girl, Alicia, Russell's wife, Mallory from Quebec Homestead, and Mallory's husband. Someone help me here. Oh, why do I do that? I can hear his voice. I can see his face. Anyway, um, we finished that video and it's going to come out. And the neat thing is that when you see my part of that video, I had just started growing the beard. And I'm like, holy smokes, that grew fast. So yeah, the beard will come off eventually. It does every year. More cooking and recipes. Okay, I can do that. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy sharing cooking. I enjoy sharing food in general. Videos are great. Thanks, man. Thank you, John. Thank you, brother. Awesome, Mike. I love it. See, that kind of stuff is cool. Fat man, I'd love to see more info on my home build and tool list, share plans of the build and all that stuff. My legs are too hairy for a dress. I need to, I do need to put a video together where I'm going over kind of why my plans are what they are for the cabin and how I got there, and then actually show you some drawings. So the problem I've had with that so far is that when I draw everything out, I draw it out on a piece of paper and it doesn't really photograph well. So I'll actually work on getting a set of plans that drawn up because I can draw blueprints. I learned how years ago. I'll get a set of plans drawn up and show you guys what the plans are and what I've done. The tool list, I think one of the things I'm going to do is as I'm going through the build of the cabin, when I add a new tool, I think it's going to be like, it'll come across the screen, achievement unlocked, nail gun, so that you guys know that, okay, here's something that he had to add that he wasn't planning on adding before. I think that would kind of be fun, kind of like a video game. So that total cost analysis as I'm going through and spending money, what it's costing me to do the entire build, all of that stuff I plan on uncovering in the future. Awesome, brother. Good to have you, Ward. Nice to have you here. It is crazy, right? It's nuts. It's nuts. Ward lives down the road from me, so he's seen all the weather that I'm seeing. Right? Yeah, your hands get cold and freeze, but everything else stays warm, and that's me. So I like wearing fingerless gloves because my fingertips generally stay okay. But when I wear full gloves or when I wear mittens, I can't grab anything when I'm trying to do any work. So sometimes, like Jeremy at Mapleberry Farms, you'll see him. He'll get frustrated and he'll just rip the gloves off because I'd rather have my hands freeze and be able to work than not be able to grab something. So generally speaking, I try and keep them as warm as possible, but there's only so much you can do, and I don't have pocket warmers. I don't have any of that stuff. I never really used them, so I just will stop, or I'll get a little fire going and I'll go take a break and put my hands over the campfire to warm it up. Yeah, right. Women have worn dresses for years in the winter, right? except they also could wear nylons, and I don't think you'll ever see me wearing nylons. I tried that once before when I was younger. We used to go snow skiing in jeans back in the late 70s. So, we were wearing, we didn't have all the fancy powder wear and everything else. So we wear jeans, and rather than wearing long johns underneath, we found out that if you put on mom's old pantyhose, you kept warmer. So we did that. Maple bacon snow cream made while wearing the bacon hat. Oh, yeah. Maple bacon snow cream. Okay. Okay. We're doing that this week. I'm going to get enough snow this week. I'm doing it this week. Count on it. So, yeah, Doug, definitely. And I'm going to tag you in that video too, Doug, because it's all your fault. I'm tagging you too, Sean, because you're as bad as I am. Right? You what? You had our drone for 2 days and you still haven't found it? I've had this drone for over a year, and this is the first time I've ever gone crash, ever gone bang with it. But I'm learning, and I'm not. I never fly the thing in sport mode. And I did get some really good images, really good pictures that'll be in next week's video from the drone this week. But I plan on flying it more and more this week. Oh, Ben. Oh man, Mallory and Ben. I mean, don't you hate that? I mean, you can hear the guy's voice, you can hear the person's voice in your head, you can see their face in front of you, but the name just and we just call that CRS, right? Something it's a disease that affects everybody as they get older. So Lori's saying, can I boil a pot of water and throw it outside? I can if we get cold enough, because in these temperatures right now, it wouldn't make any difference. You won't see the everything turn to steam. But if we get to below 20 below zero again this year, I'll do it. I should have done it earlier. I don't know if we're going to get that cold again this year. I think we may be towards the end of it. But if I get that temperature, I definitely will. Like seeing the outdoors and life in Alaska. That's my thing too. I really enjoy it. We've got the next Saturday. I've got the final beer festival of the season, which is the Frozen River Festival, and I kind of touched on that before. But I'm gonna bring the drone with me this year. I'm gonna overfly it and everything. I'm gonna just have a ton of fun with it, so that you can see how Alaskans unwind at the end of winter, and it's kind of unique to this area, but at the same time, if you live in northern areas, in smaller towns in northern areas, I think you'll be very familiar with how we do that. Everybody has a blast, and while it is a beer festival, it is a completely family-friendly, fun event. You'll see entire families there with their kids playing. They've got all kinds. They've got skating for the kids. They've got it's just a ton of fun, sledding, all kinds of stuff. But it's all focused around local beers, and it's a total Alaskan event. Stephanie likes the cooking vids too. Awesome. Very cool. Deborah Starling. Awesome to have you here. Old ladies like to see guys in kilts. Oh, yeah. So John and Sherry here at Off Grid Living with Living Simple Homestead, he just did a simple pot of beans, and Sherry made just a simple bread that they cooked on their wood stove. It looked delicious. I love. I'm not into the whole. Even though a lot of people say I cook some gourmet stuff, I'm not really into the gourmet end of food. My brother and I used to joke that a chef makes your plate look pretty and a cook makes your stomach full. And I like to think I'm more of a cook than I am a chef. I just have a ton of fun with it. And I've not been trained at all. Everything I've learned picked up in restaurants growing up, because my family had bakeries and restaurants, and picked up from my brothers because they grew up in that environment as well. But yeah, I love food, and John and Sherry do a great job with it too. You want to see a video dedicated to my top 10 kilt moments? My little Marilyn Monroe kilt moment? Awesome. I have never been to Scotland. That's a trip that I would like to take. And yes, I would wear the kilt. I would bring the kilt to Scotland. Built on the Rock, glad you could be here. Awesome to have you. Starting to get dark there, and the chickens all need to go to bed. I understand that completely as a chicken guy now. You know, I I will have Brother Will set it alive one day because I think it'd be pretty funny the way that him and I cap on each other all the time. But we would have to really think about what we're going to say because sometimes it can get colorful. Will is an Army veteran and Sean is Irish. So, and Will's Irish too, but sometimes we can say some things that are probably not good in mixed company. So we really have to censor and edit ourselves. And I don't know if that would play, but I'll have Will sit in. He'll enjoy it. I know he would. Yeah, this helps greatly, folks. If you post your question in caps, I will catch it and I will not miss it. Jerry, awesome to have you here, my friend. Awesome to have you here. Ah, Lori, not good. Be careful. They make cleats for feet. Rem's Family Homestead or Rem's Family Farm. Awesome to have you guys here. And that's another channel that does some pretty awesome lives if you're into homesteading. And they're doing it from an urban standpoint right now. But they have all kinds of people on their panels, and you'll learn a lot if you watch them. You will learn a lot at Rem's. Good to have you guys here. Yep. I've actually done that before, Lori, at Firefly Farm. But it's been a while, and I don't remember what video it was on. But it's got to be pretty cold because zero won't cut it. It's got to be like 20 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit or colder for you to get the true effect of that. And Stacy at Cabin Dweller did it recently in one of her videos. She might have done it on TikTok as well, but she's in the Yukon territory, and they were getting brutal cold for a while there. She was at 45 and 50 below 0 Celsius. 40 below 0 Celsius and Fahrenheit is where we match. And then our number goes up a little faster than theirs does. But she was still probably 45 or 50 Fahrenheit below 0, and she's done it. Rebel Canners, awesome to have you here. Glad you could make it. Elizabeth Rojas, awesome. Thank you for joining us tonight. Very cool. On Mariner, welcome. Checking in from the Bay by Hitchinbrook Island, Alaska. Awesome to have you here, man. Very cool. There's a beard. You guys got an epic beard, right? This is a little longer than mine. Sorry, not sorry. Whatever, troublemaker. You're a pro on the drone, huh? You got it nailed. Do you, John? You can't find it anymore, but you're a pro. Foggy Mountain Man, very cool, my friend. Thank you. Find that steak for me for dinner tonight. When I cut into that first bite, it's on you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, Mike. You're gonna like Doug. You're gonna like his channel, man. He's good people, very good people. Him and his wife are just awesome. Alrighty, Jerry, you're gonna have to tell us whether or not you did well today. If you caught fish, did you wear your new sweater? Hopefully, that is, that is so cool. That is so cool. I know, right? Here's how bad I can be with names sometimes. I can work with people, and not side by. Obviously, if I'm working with you every day side by side, I'll never forget your name. But I can work with people that I see on a casual basis 2 or 3 times a week. And hey, how you doing, guy? It's good to see you. If I say that to you, I have no idea what your name is. I know who you are. I just don't remember your name at all. So everybody will get a nickname, and for a month or two, that one nickname will be everybody, and then I'll change it every month because I don't want them to think I don't know their name. So I'll change the nickname. Miss Karen, I haven't had dinner yet, but I'm cooking up a ribeye steak, some potatoes, and some fresh asparagus on the grill. I thought that would be a yummy, yummy dinner to do. I planned on doing it Friday, but things got in the way. Last night, things got in the way, so I said, I'm just going to do it Sunday night. I'll do it for dinner tonight. Be my Valentine's treat to myself. Mike, thank you, brother. Very cool. Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. Now that John has mentioned this, I can't wait to have a wood stove so that I could just constantly have a pot on the wood stove cooking all kinds of good, yummy stuff. Letting that stove do all the work that it needs to do. Kilt moments, a little breezy lad. Lori, what's the dating scene like up here? Well, there's a saying in Alaska that the odds are good that the goods are odd. Um, in the when you're in the Alaskan bush, it's probably going to be like 10 men to every one woman. But where I live here, it's the same ratio as any city. Anchorage, the same ratio as any city that you're going to find in North America, more than likely. Um, Finding someone who wants to date somebody who does what I do is a little bit different because I live off grid in a trailer, getting ready to build a house. I have no plans of ever being on the grid. I enjoy the challenges of this lifestyle, so it takes kind of a special individual, somebody as nuts as me, to want to get into that situation. Haven't found her yet. Still looking. Never going to give up. The sun just came up. I see blue sky. Holy! When this video's over, I'm going to go out and grill. Oh, awesome, Kathy! You found that? Very cool. Frozen River Festival. Bill says, I set a time frame for the move. Leaving South Texas on Memorial Day weekend. Should be there by the end of the first week of June. Very cool, Bill. Very cool. Very cool. Elizabeth, we're talking about the beard again. I'll let it grow until it starts to when it starts to itch too much. When the weather's too nice and it starts to itch too much, at that point, I'll probably trim it off. But we'll see. I'll see how long I can hold on to it this year. I've never actually gone a full year with the beard. I mean, from ending winter through the summer and back into winter again. Maybe I'll try that. That'd be kind of fun. Kristen Grounds, awesome to have you here. Glad you could make it. My granddaughter does the same thing. My granddaughter loves to just go. Hmm. She's an expert, a real pro at losing them. That's freaking funny, John. That is so funny. Ram, went ice fishing this morning, caught around 150. 150 what? Fish or ice? See, I love this kind of stuff. This is nice. People get in here. There are people in here that have channels. There are people in here that just watch YouTube. And if you can find another channel while you're in here chatting, even if you decide down the road you're not interested in subscribing to me anymore, but you found a great channel, I think that in itself is just an awesome thing about doing lives on YouTube. You get to see and meet more people than you ever would just by scrolling through your YouTube suggested videos. And I love that. That is cool, Mike. Well, and yeah, everybody does wear name badges at work, Kathy. But the problem is, these are vendors that are coming in that, for one reason or another, may have a badge or may not have a badge. And when you're walking in the back door and you've got a parka on because it's 25 below zero outside, and the snow is swirling, it just gets difficult for some reason. And I'm the first to admit I'm getting old. So, yep, that is the truth. Yeah, Lindsay, right? Yeah, Fairbanks isn't the best place. I loved Fairbanks, Alaska, but Fairbanks, Alaska is, I think, a younger person's city, um, with the military base right there and the college. Somebody my age living outside of Fairbanks and having Fairbanks be my central shopping hub would be fine. But yeah, if you don't already have your family together and everybody you want to spend time with, Fairbanks is probably not the place you want to go to meet them all. Destiny says she's house sitting in Bradford, Ontario this summer. May try for an Alaskan house sit in the fall. Nice. That would be cool. That would be very cool, Destiny. And a subscriber of Bill as well. The one was very cool. Oh, fishing for smelt. Nice. Very nice. Almost halftime. Gonna go shave. Fishing with dynamite is not fishing. Look at that. Mike just subscribed to 4 channels in this live stream, and that right there tells me that this live stream was a total success. That's very cool. That is very cool. Oh, I really have gotten to the point where I look very forward to doing these live streams on Sunday. I just think they're a ton of fun. I didn't tell my kids about it this weekend, though, because I wanted to see if they'd actually remember that the dad was going live without a reminder. But they're both of my daughters are moms. My youngest one, Ashley's got a my granddaughter who's going to be 2, so she's got a toddler that's just keeping her busy, like nobody's business. And then my oldest daughter, Brienne, has two boys. One is just turning a year old, and the other one's 5. So yeah, they're both busy kids. So I just wondered if they would. I'm gonna give them so much grief when this is over. It'll be awesome. Yeah, right. That's cool. Let me. All right, Jerry's got our full. We've got Jerry's full attention at this point. That's awesome. Perfect example with Mike subscribing. Just how much of your community. Yeah, exactly. Right, Bill. Lone Moose. It's awesome. Because there's a lot of people like me. I watched YouTube for years and never had a channel or did anything with it. And I really didn't get into lives until I started with a channel and started following other channels that were helping teach new channels. And then, one led to another, and I met some awesome people via YouTube. But for somebody who gets into these lives that is not a creator, they find out, hey, I really like what this guy does, but here's 5 other people that he said I should go watch. I got to go check them out. So it helps everybody. It's very cool. Very cool. Right, Doug? In the old days, you used to be able to right-click next to a name, and you could go to their channel and subscribe to it without even leaving the chat. But YouTube took that away. You do. You meet a lot of great people on YouTube. You really do. I love the show Northern Exposure as well. Matter of fact, I think I have quite a few of the I might have the entire series on DVD. That was actually filmed in Oregon. But probably Talkeetna, Alaska would be the closest thing to the actual city of Sicily, Alaska, because of its unique citizenry, and I'm talking about in non-tourist season, and because of just the building and the architecture, would be a great example of it. But yeah, there's a lot of people up here that are like that were like those people from that show. Jen, awesome, thank you guys. I enjoy doing it. It's a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun. Come in some Everyman Jack beard butter for the beard edge. Okay, I didn't know that. I'll get some. I'll get some definitely because my dad was a merchant mariner, and he would grow the beard, but when he would come back from sea, he would shave it off. So there was never beard care in my house growing up. It was always mustache stuff. JD, you're heading out the door, my friend. It's getting close, right? Happy Valentine's Day to all you folks. If you don't have a Valentine's, I'll be your Valentine. Happy Valentine's Day. Right? Yeah. I love the positive conversations. I'm going to try and get to the end here before we jump out the door, guys. Definitely, Doug. You know what? When I get the cabin done, it would be it would be just awesome to have folks come up and visit. I would really enjoy it because I've met some great people, and I think you and your wife up here would be a ton of fun. We can come up with multiple recipes for different stuff with bacon. Sandalwood, okay, cool. Am I planning on using spray foam on the underside of your cabin? I'm probably just going to use either rock wool or the pink stuff. I'll take a look at it and see. Spray foam, it's not really that natural. It's kind of why I'm looking at rock wool, and it's another added expense. It would cost a lot more to use spray foam for me than it would cost to put in insulation. Yeah, you do. Yeah, I agree, Lindsay. Right? Talkeetna is just a neat little town. You miss seeing Bree? Call her. Say hi. She's a good kid. She's a good kid. All right, we're getting down towards the bottom here. I'm looking forward to watching the cabin go up, and I am too. And the porch, definitely. I'm building them both at the same time. We should have a beard contest. There's no need to have a beard contest. All beards are awesome. Well, look at that. We got an update on the score. 12 seconds to halftime, 13-10. Cabin warming party, right? Yeah, Mike's, it is. Right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Sean. Rockwell's fire department or fire retardant and pest hated. So with that, folks, we've hit an hour, just over it by a little bit. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for joining me once again this week. We're going to keep going live on Sundays at 3 p.m. Alaska Standard Time. That's 4 p.m. Pacific for as long as I can with the signal here. As we get closer and closer to tourist season, obviously that's going to be an issue, and we're not going to be able to do it because our system gets totally overwhelmed once fishing season hits and the tourists get here. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you. Have a fantastic fantastic week. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for commenting, for hitting the thumbs up and sharing it with your friends. I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome rest of your day. I'm Sean in Alaska, and I'm going to go grill a steak. Talk to you guys later. See ya.